He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
Enzo! He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
Enzo! He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
Enzo! He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
About the future. Get a sparring partner, usual story.
Thanks, Tony, mate.
Maccarinelli.
6, 7, 8.
Can't see much. He looked a bit sharp, he looked a bit more aggressive tonight. He didn't look so timid. So I know you wasn't watching the fight.
I could have been relatively aggressive against that opponent.
He said agrees. He said the what more people have got to be told no more. He doesn't do that any good at all. Well done, Kyle! Fucking Budapest leading bartender. I'm not going to interview Maccarinelli over this, are you?
Well, not about this, but...
About the future. Get a sparring partner, usual story. Spoke to him tonight. Back training his
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes and 4 seconds of round 1, your referee, Howard Foster, has stopped the contest. He deemed that Zoltan Czekus was in no no position to continue. The winner in the blue corner from Swansea, Enzo Maccarinelli. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the gallant Zoltan Czekus.
Enzo Maccarinelli, you've obviously dropped down a couple of levels from where you were 2-3 years ago, but it was a good, impressive win tonight against a half-decent opponent.
Yeah, I'm not getting carried away, and you know, this boy's nowhere near good enough to compete against me. But you know, maybe that's what I needed after I lost to Ofalabi. I wanted to go straight back in with Lebedev. You know, things weren't right. Not taking nothing away from none of them, but you know, things weren't right. Things happen. You know, that's boxing is a cruel sport, and you know, I've got to show my worth. You know, it's not a lot of people out there who think I can do it again. I know I can do it again. I know Frank knows I can do it again. And you know, it's just being brought on the right way. You know, I put faith in Frank, the guy in my career, and you know, I will repay the faith in him.
You had a tough 2008 and a really tough 2009, but do you feel you've turned a bit of a corner?
Yeah, not so much turning a bit of a corner. It was just things were going wrong with my training. Things were, you know, not going wrong with my training, but you know, I was trying different things, and you know, that's not me. I'm a come forward banger. I got fast hands. I got good fitness. And the last two losses I had, you know, I wasn't confident in my fitness, wasn't confident in my boxing ability through whatever reason. But like I said, boxing is a cruel sport. I take nothing away from the two boys that beat me. I messed up, and the better prepared men won. You know, so but like I said, you know, it's up to me to, you know, prove everyone wrong. And you know, I know there's a lot of people who think I can do it, but there's a lot who think I can't do it. So it's up to me.
And what's the situation now with training camp? You were with Enzo Kawasaki, you went up to Carl Ince in Manchester, you're back in Swansea now.
I still work a bit with Carl, but it was, you know, when I went to Carl tried very hard to, you know, do things right, and you know, doing things right is one thing, but doing things right, that's for me, is a different thing. And you know, Carl blames himself for the loss of Lebedev. I don't blame him at all. You know, I should have been more of a man and said no, I don't agree with this. But you know, we spoke. Me and Carl spoke. You know, I work with Carl. I still do a little bit with Carl, but at the moment is a guy who helps me my conditioning, Chris Ware. You know, we always got rivals, me and him, with fitness, and you know, it's nice to have someone to push me to that level. So you know, a lot of credit goes to Chris for this fight. You know, he helped me quite a bit. You know, and I'm just thankful to be here. You know, I missed the buzz. You know, I had a nice reception. And I just want to get back, and you know, I want that title back. Whichever way I get it, I'll get it.
What's the plan? You were WBO world champion. You're desperate for that one. You never won the British title, though, have you?
No, well, you know, you think, you know, people. I read some internet reports that I've been pampered and things like that. In my 13th fight, I boxed Bruce Scott, two-time world title challenger, British and Commonwealth champion at the time. Knocked him out. I boxed Mark Robson, who was the British and Commonwealth champion. I knocked him out. You know, so I've beaten two current British and Commonwealth champions. I boxed 3 former world WBC champions. You know. But you know, people can talk, and you know, that's what makes the game great. You know, people got their own opinion, and everyone can have their own opinion.
But would a route back to the world title be via the British title, possibly?
To be honest, Ian, I don't mind. Frank has shown faith in me. I got faith in Frank as a promoter. You know, going through all this split with Joe and Frank and all that. You know, I had to make a choice, and you know, I believe I made the right choice. You know, I'll leave Frank guide my career that way, and I'll take care of business my end.
Great, and then. Of the world champions at the moment, anyone you fancy, or
any one of them? You know, I think the ideal fight would be if Fragomeni beat Christoph Lodarczyk out in Italy. Fragomeni's from Milan, my dad's from Brescia. You know, it'd be a cracking scrap. But you know, is anyone look at Ofalabi against Marco Huck? You know, I thought Ofalabi beat Marco Huck, and I probably boxed the worst about boxing against Ofalabi, and I was 8 rounds up. But you know, I tired, and that is boxing. We've got to last the 12.
Well, it's great to have you back, and good luck for the next 12 months or so.
Thank you very much.